English winners. On this casual Friday, I thought I'd share with you another good to know English business concept. This idea is called anti-fragile. So, anti-fragile is a term coined by the author and hedge fund manager Nassim Taleb. Some places his name is Nassim Nicholas Taleb, in his book of the same name, Anti-Fragile. And it's a book that's pretty complicated. It is a pretty difficult read, even for fluent English speakers. So if you want the challenge, go for it. But if you can find the book in your own native language, that would be even better, just because the ideas are so complicated. But I highly recommend the book. Now, anti-fragile is similar to another term called resilience. Now, resilience is where something can undergo stress or shock and still stay the same. For instance, maybe there's a firewall protecting a computer program, and a virus tries to get through the firewall and attacks the firewall a bunch of times but doesn't get through. The firewall didn't get stronger, it didn't get weaker, it just stays the same. Much like a rock. If you pick up a rock and drop it down, some rocks are very strong and they won't break. They'll stay basically the same. Now, anti-fragile is a little bit different, see? Anti-fragile means when something experiences stress, whether that stress is the ups and downs of a stock market, or trauma, or chaos, or uncertainty, things like that, instead of staying the same, they get stronger, right? They get stronger. A good example is a weightlifter goes to the gym, they lift a lot of weights that are very heavy, and their muscles might get broken down. But over time, they will get stronger and they will be able to lift more weight. That's one definition of anti-fragile. Another example that I can think of just off the top of my head is poison. You know, poison is bad. Poison is like, if you drink it, it will kill you. If you eat it, it will kill you. But in some cases, a very small amount of poison that won't kill you, you take that, you might get sick a little bit, but you recover. And then you keep taking that same small amount over and over until you don't get sick anymore. Then increase the dose a little bit more until you don't get sick anymore. Then a little bit more until you don't get sick anymore. Before long, your body has achieved what's called hormesis, where you are no longer vulnerable to that poison. You have an immunity to that specific poison. Anti-fragile is like that. So this concept has been applied to computer science, transportation planning, engineering, and a whole lot of other disciplines. But how does this work in business? Well, one immediate application is that when you make a mistake in business, assuming that mistake doesn't destroy you, you learn from it, right? You learn from it, you either don't repeat that mistake or you try something else that works a little bit better, and over time, you become a better business person. And you become more effective at your objective, whether that's to sell a lot of product, to make a lot of money, or simply to make the world a better place. And then, of course, in computer science, there's also a benefit. There's a lot of web applications, a lot of game programs, especially chess, and computer formulas, where as a user uses that program over and over again, the computer learns which programs are most important and dedicates more resources to those programs and less to others that the user doesn't care about so much. So this means that the computer is, or the application is more effective for the person using it. So those are some examples of anti-fragile in the world. Can you think of something else that is anti-fragile that gets better after experiencing shock? Please let me know down in the comments. If there's any other business term you want to know about, let me know down in those comments. Subscribe and check out my other good to know videos. I'll see you later. Have a great weekend.